Okay, so in the last example, we managed to create some CSS styling, but we have yet to be able to display the map view. So in the actual output, we are able to display the map of the user, of the contact list. We are also able to add a new contact and specify its location. Okay, of course we can edit the existing data and edit and set its new location. Okay, so in order to do that, we must first display the map in our map view. Okay, so in your HTML, the first thing you need to do is you need to include the script for the GoogleMap APIs, referencing the source to https maps.googleapi.com/maps/api.js. Okay, for now we don't need a API key. Okay, so now I'm gonna include a custom JavaScript. Of course, this file has not been created yet, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new JavaScript file. I'm going to save it as my custom JavaScript. Okay, just to back up my original one. Okay, so if you're using Dreamweaver, you could actually reflect the JavaScript on the top bar here. I'm just going to view it in live, and the moment I do that, I can see my JavaScript appearing here. Okay, so first off, I'm going to run a self-executing function to make sure that everything's loaded in my JavaScript, my entire document. I'm going to need two variables. One is my temp coordinates to store temporary coordinates. Next is the previous location state. So why I need the previous location state as a variable, because I'm going to store from which page am I accessing the map view, because all of this whether you're adding a new contact, you're going to access the same map view. Whether you are editing, you are also going to access the map view, the same map view. So I'm going to keep track of from which page did I come from. So depending on which page did I come from, I will be displaying something different in my map view. Okay, so next, what I need is I'm going to assign some interactivity to all the button location, so that when I click on them, they are going to save my current state. So when I click on the button here on add location, it's going to keep track of where did I come from. So I can basically retrieve the hash using the window history.state hash. For example, I'm going to create a new function called save current state. And I'm going to store previous location state as my window.history.state.hash. Okay. So now I'm able to keep track of where is my previous location state whenever I clicked on my location button. Okay. So next, I will be working on trying to display the map. So I'm going to create a function known as initMap, and I'm going to set an event handler to my map view page. So whenever it's on the page show event, it will init the map, which basically is the set of instructions that I'm going to show the map. Okay, so I'm going to set the default location, which is somewhere roughly in the middle of Singapore. Set the lag and the long 130.820.227. Next, I'm going to set a default zoom index. Okay, so by default, my page, my map view has the OK button. I only want it to appear when I've set a new marker, so I'm going to hide it for now. So any anchor tag that contains the HTML content of the OK is going to get hidden. Okay, oops, some error here. So next, I'm gonna set the map view header. Okay, and then I'm gonna need some default map options, which I'm gonna pass into my Google Map later. Okay, I'm gonna use the zoom index as my zoom property center using the location that I've defined earlier. And I'm going to disable the default UI. Okay. So I'm just going to create my Google Map. After this statement, you should be able to see some map being displayed. Okay. Pass in the map options. Okay. Let's have a quick test. Voila. Okay. Next thing, we want to add in a marker. And I can actually pass in some basic parameters. The position of the marker, we will set it as the location of the map, center of the map, and assign it to the Gmap, which is our map that is being displayed here. Okay. Okay, good. Next, depending on which page I'm coming from, so I'm going to set some conditional statements. If the previous location state equals to page add contact. If I'm coming from the add contact page, I'm going to make sure that my, first off, I'm going to use the temp coordinates. If it's undefined, then I'll be using the temp coordinates instead. And I'm going to add a event listener to the Google Map function, and it's going to pass in the event parameters. So from the click event on the Google Map, you can actually retrieve the latitude and longitude. So I'm going to call a function known as the set marker, and pass in the event lat and long. Okay. So I'm going to define my, make sure that you're at the end of the initmap function. Okay. Create a new function known as set marker, taking in the marker and the marker location. Whenever a marker is set, I'm going to display my OK button. and I'm going to assign an additional event listener. So I'm doing two things at one statement, on one statement. I'm going to call a set temp coordinates, passing in the marker location as well. So when I click on the OK button, so in this example, when I click on a new area in the map, the OK button is going to appear. I'm going to click on the OK. A temporary marker, a temporary coordinate is going to be stored into the temp coordinates. So this is what this statement is for. If the temp coordinates has been set, I will be reflecting the temp coordinates first instead of the original one. Okay, so that is what I'm trying to do here. So right now, I'm going to declare, okay, first I want to change the position of my marker. So let me set the position of the marker with the new marker location. Then I'm going to declare a new function, and the set temp coordinate is going to pass in the marker location, and I'm going to set the new coordinates to be a new object. Temp coordinates equals, it's going to take in a property called let equals to marker locations let, and temp coordinates equals to long equals to marker location dot long. And I'm going to turn off all the event handler on my anchor tag. Okay, so when I click on the OK, this OK will no longer work, so that it doesn't keep adding on the event handler. Okay, so last but not least, I'm going to update the button label with the temp coordinates. So this is roughly what is going to happen. Oops, I'm not done with my function yet. Okay, roughly it works. Okay, and it's going to set some temporary coordinates back here, and I revisit again. Yep. Anyway, this doesn't work yet because I'm not done with my function, with my init map. So coming back to this, okay, if my previous location equals to page add contact, and if temp coordinate is not equals to undefined, the location is going to be set as temp coordinates. Okay, so else, so if I'm coming from the edit page or the view contact details page, if temp coordinates not equals to undefined, so either way you have to check. And similarly, location equals to temp coordinates. Okay, and if previous location state is equals to coming from page edit contact, I'm going to add the event listener as well. Okay, because you only want to allow the users to be able to set a new location when you are at the edit page and the add page, and you don't want the Google Map to be listening for clicks when it is just a view page. Okay, so you shouldn't be able to click here because it's just viewing of the content, viewing of the location. Okay, so last but not least, once the location has been set, whether there's a temp coordinate or not, I am going to set my map with the latest location. Okay, let's try it. So let's say I've set a new location here, okay, somewhere in Pasagudan. Okay, if I revisit this, I will be looking at the latest new location. Okay,